We are now traveling to the outskirts of Sarajevo to the cities of Jajce and Travnik. Jajce is known for its many waterfalls and watermills, and Travnik is known for its old forts and mosques. We chose a tour operator called Meet Bosnia. So they were very professional and they were very comprehensive in the entire tour experience.
Has to offer a variety of excellent food. Now I do have to say, for vegetarians or vegans, maybe not the top priority when coming to the Balkans.
So this was going to be a very exciting journey from Sarajevo to Jajce. On the way there, we stopped by in Travnik for a small coffee break, and then when we were returning from Jajce, we stopped by in Travnik to sightsee.
It was always a very agricultural region, always very focused on the wood industry especially, but also some important industrial places like for coal mining and for metal.
2 hours later.
On the way, we stopped by a very famous coffee shop of the region. It's called Lutvina Kava. Now, kava is a Persian word which means tea. It's also used in parts of northern India. The Bosnians have a very interesting way of having coffee. So, coffee is served here with a sweet, 2 blocks of sugar, some butter, and because a lot of Bosnians smoke, a cigarette is usually presented with coffee as well. We are now on the way to the Jajce fort. We are finally here, and the path to the fort looks like an old village with a lot of local houses. There seems to be a few hardware stores on the way as well.
This here is an interesting little building, unfortunately closed at the moment. What do you think this is? Right here. Sorry? Mosque, yes, you're actually quite right, even though it looks nothing like a mosque of any kind that you will find here. He wanted to build a mosque specifically for women and specifically dedicated to his daughters, and this is decorated by yes. Meni samo bitno da to ne zajedno. So just before we continue into the fortress, this is very important right here. Although reconstructed when it was originally found, it was very well preserved. This is one of the very rare preserved examples from the medieval period of the Bosnian royal coat of arms. So this Kotromanić dynasty.
Our tour guide Ahmed was a history student, so he happened to point out all of the small nuances in these historical sites. This fort looked like something straight out of a medieval movie. We are now heading all the way up to the fort to have a view of the city. The view from the top of the fort was spectacular.
This was added very late medieval period and then preserved by the Ottomans, and it was quite useful for them as well. So you had these different gatehouses. A gatehouse basically means a gate that an invading force wants to go through, following the road, they would have to first get stuck. Or were no longer taking care of the church or using the church. So that's what happened with this one and with many others in Bosnia upon the Ottoman.
We're now walking downhill from the fort to have a look at the other attractions on the site. The fort also had a catacomb nearby. Nobody really knows what this catacomb was used for. Some people believe it was just used for prayers or some sort of a religious gathering.
This church, as I mentioned, was never actually finished, so it was started at the time of Hrvoje, and then it was just abandoned as the family, as I said, mostly left Jajce. It was supposed to be a church in a more or less traditional form, just underground, literally carved out of stone, but also a burial place for his family. However, this purpose is never fulfilled. However, this place served, also known as dervishes, these Islamic mystics, which is, a sort of mystical school of thought, right, earlier. By the way, since the flag wasn't displayed up there on the fortress, I have a picture I can show you some of these.
Oh, souvenir.
Oh, yes.
This is a souvenir shop.
There was a cute local dog following all of us. You can tell that he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Jing apparently was also having a lot of fun.
Different parts of this history and business.
All of us decided to stop by for lunch,
Actually, the only
grab something to eat, and have a picnic. So we were heading towards a borak place, which is a kind of a Bosnian bread with some meat inside.
maybe along the way back to Travnik, maybe relatively quickly after this idea. Travnik, of course, along the way to the fortress or to the mosque, there will be some restaurants.